Good everyone, welcome once again to the Unfiltered Hour, where we talk about matters as they are. My name is Favor, and I have with me some special persons. So, I'll let them introduce themselves before I introduce the topic of the day. So, over to you, Ma.
Okay, good day everyone. My name is Mrs. Njoko Sharon.
Okay. Um, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself so that you can.
Okay, I'm a mother and I'm a businesswoman.
Okay. Over to you.
Alright, my name is Mercy Chizoba. I'm a graphics designer, a computer science student, a photographer also.
Okay. So the matter we have to discuss today is a very, very, very sensitive one, and you better don't go anywhere because you're going to learn a lot from this section. So today we'll be looking on the matter of relationship. Yes. So we're going to be looking at a lot of things that has to do with relationship, and one of the things that we're going to look at is the term called spec. Ah, spec. Say, this girl on my spec, that guy on my spec. And that same spec has stopped a lot of people from seeing well or seeing rightly. Some people, I don't know what color of spec they're wearing. They now see the word in blue. If the person is not in that way, the person does not fit into what they're doing. So we want to really look at what is spec. What should we take away from? Is it actually good? What are the good sides and the bad sides of it? So that's what we're going to be looking at today. So I will start from Mrs. Sharon. She's a mother, as you heard. So Ma, what is your take on the term spec?
Okay, in a layman's word, what spec is like a pidgin word that we use in
Yes.
Nigeria. So if I should bring it down to the contemporary meaning, it's about what people are looking for in a partner or in somebody they want to be with. So those qualities they are looking for in that person is what they call spec. Yes.
Okay, you're getting that. Now let me come over because I like the definition she gave because so many people that word means so many things. I remember one of my friends, I was discussing with him, and he looked at a lady. He saw a lady walking down the street, and he was like, "Guy, this girl on my spec." And I looked at the lady, and I could not tell any. I couldn't understand what he saw. Or so we would like to look at the intricacies. Is spec just from what she said, what somebody wants in a partner? Is it just physical? What will you just see somebody you don't know, say nah, this girl on my spec group. So what we want to look into that. Is spec just physical? Is it just a physical something? Or is there more to it that we don't know?
Alright, to some persons it's just physical because some persons are just like that. They just feel someone and this person is my spec because of maybe your complexion or your height or your
Just as you're
physique
fair.
and all that. Yeah, there are some persons that will say, I can never have anything to do with a tall girl. How can I be tall and the girl will be tall,
So we
same
give
height
birth
with
to,
me?
to giraffes.
Yeah, so most persons it's just the physical appearance, while some
Okay.
other persons too go beyond the physical. That is, sometimes when they say this girl is my spec or this guy is my spec, they talk about people that they already know. So they
Okay.
can actually have a friend and say, yeah, this person is just my spec based on intellect and maybe I don't know any other thing that they feel like is what they like in the
In
person.
the person. Okay. Can specs, because I've seen a lot of spec, both pink spec. This spec you're wearing, I don't know if you're still wearing it. I've seen pink spec, black spec, every kind of spec. So it should what should be the right approach, or rather, what should be the right things? Ma, I think this is for you. What should be the right things to look at when considering somebody as a life partner? Should it because there are some things that don't make sense. Like somebody be like, this the only reason why this girl now is my spec is because she has body. Like, how is that going to sustain your? I don't know if you get. So what are the things that as individuals that are looking for a partner should look at that should not form the spec? If I will put it that way.
Okay. It depends on the individual. So for me, I'm someone that follows the Bible. So if you want to do relationship God kind of way, there is a kind of spec God demands from you to have as a partner. It's not everybody that should be a spec. It might suit you as a human being based on your vibes, based on what you want out of life for yourself, not what God wants for you. So you can want something because of what you want from the flesh, what your body desires, but deep down, that's not what God wants for you. God has a spec for you. That's the truth.
That's a PowerPoint.
God has a spec for you.
God has a spec
for you. You may have your own spec, but God has a spec for you. Sometimes if you align to the spirit, your spec and God's spec may just align, and you discover that most times what you want as a spec is exactly what God desires for you. So, but if you're someone that dwells in the flesh, most times your spec will be out of what your body wants to desire. You just want to desire. You just be fantasizing big boobs, big asses, and all that. All your mind is this person is good in bed. That's all. That's all your mind will be going. But there are things that are way much important that will keep relationship for a long time. That the kind of spec you choose is very important. So there are certain qualities that you need to see in someone that if you follow the Bible principle, you will have a long-lasting relationship. Mind you, marriage started from the Bible. God instituted marriage. So if you want your marriage or your relationship to work, you must follow biblical principle. First of all, God says, do not be unequally yoked with an unbeliever. So I'm talking to those who are Christians. If you know you believe in God, because that's who I am. So if you believe in God, trust me, there are principles you will follow in the scriptures that will keep your marriage way, it will last long. You will not suffer the crisis that the world is suffering right now. So the number one principle is do not be equally yoked with an unbeliever. If you know God and you love God, don't marry someone that does not love God. Don't marry someone that does not fear God. Or do not let me start from being in a relationship, because it starts from there. Do not even want to have feelings. Let me start from that point, because most time people will start with the feelings, and before they say, don't worry, I'll be changing. So do not even start from admiring somebody who is. In fact, if you see someone that does not know God, your spirit should you should hate him for relationship, but you should love him to save him, to win him to Christ. So, but if it has to do with your destiny, run. So if you must be in a relationship, look for somebody that is in Christ. I didn't say somebody that goes to church, because your church is like a hospital. You see different people who are suffering from different diseases spiritually. But if you must do this thing called relationship right, you must first of all find someone or be attracted to someone who knows God, who loves God, and you need to know the person down to his secret place. Because somebody can be in the open and he claims to love God. He can speak in tongues, kabash and all that. But deep down in the secret, there are a lot of things he or she is battling. That if the person might be your spec in the open, but when people get at home, the spec has support. So you need to know the person down to his secret place. Keep emotions aside. That is why it's very important not to even have sex before marriage, because it becomes your emotions. Keep emotions aside, and use your head use your head via the spirit. You could use your head and you're not working in. Use your head via the spirit. The Bible says watch and pray. Use your head via the spirit. Look down into this person. Does this person really love God? And you cannot know somebody who loves God when you don't love God. That's the truth.
Yeah.
You cannot see God in somebody when you yourself do not have God inside of you. There is no way Iron is attracted to iron.
Like things.
Like them. So there's something you see, you can identify somebody who is in God when you yourself you are not in God. It's not possible. So that's a very, very number one. For me, if I see a guy moving, he can be tall, low. He can be tall, he can be fine. But my body can first of all say, okay, this guy is fine. But wait, even if your body is fitting you, first of all, the first conversation I will have with you, it will be able to tell me if the person is in God. But I cannot use that first encounter to judge. But at least that should even build the attraction first. It's not somebody who's just moving as a guy and she's flapping the book toss up and down, and that is, if I don't get this girl out, if you get that girl, if you use that book toss and bounce on you and destroy your destiny, you will know. So
Alright, thank you so much. She has said a lot. I don't even like so much knowledge and wisdom in just few minutes. Okay, she said a lot of things. I would just like to add a little bit before we hear from Mercy. She said a lot of things. One of what I got from what she said is we need to focus more on the internal than the external. When some people are thinking about spec, what they are saying is outward. This person. Meanwhile, you don't even know the person. Like your eyes, and the problem is that your eyes can deceive you.
Yeah.
That's it. I was talking to somebody the other day and I was telling the person, don't look for tall, look for tolerance.
Yes, what?
They were laughing.
That's true.
But if you check it in the marriage, you might not really consider tall again. Like once you enter that boat,
the first month of marriage, your tolerance level will be tested. It might not just be, when you marry, you're not only marrying your husband, you're marrying your in-laws. So it might not just be your husband that will be your temptation. It might be family. So you have to build certain qualities, as you said, tolerance, patience. Love is first of all what you build first. But these are the qualities that may not arise in the relationship. Because in the relationship might just be lovey, doggy. And then when you now enter, children comes in. Sometimes my son can be so annoying that if not that I'm a mother, I will just fling this boy now. See, your husband is there leading your attention, your son. So you just need tolerance and patience to be able to handle this thing. And if you're somebody that you just came to relationship and managed to enjoy, and there are times that we need to put the work. So there are certain qualities we need to develop. If not, these are the things that people don't have. That when these things come to them in marriage, they can't hold it. Most of the divorces that you see that happen is the inability for somebody to do his own part. Because this other person did not develop himself before the marriage, or even in the marriage. You not see the marriage shake it. It takes two people to make it work. So this other person is not doing his part. Being sacrificial, being tolerant. Some things you just see, you just overlook. Some things you just see, you just keep quiet. It's not that you're stupid. You just want peace to reign. But some women, I don't want to say it. I must give it to him. I will give him the peace of my mind. If I don't say this thing now, this man, you must hear my, before you know, the man will not give you back the peace of his own mind. Before you know, there is one thing has happened. Fire has started from there. That will lead to another thing. But there are some things you just see. Even if you are not at fault, just keep quiet. When you keep quiet, before you know it, you find a better time to bring it up. So these are things, even as a woman, even as a man, we all need to learn. You need to build these, qualities, work on yourself even before getting into a relationship. Even in the relationship, you build yourself so that when you get to the marriage stage, with God by your side, you put the work.
So I hope you learned a lot of things, because she has said it all. She said it takes two persons to make marriage work. So it's not just that you're good and then you are a good person, you've built yourself, and then you're looking at a lady, the only thing you're seeing is this girl. And you gotta marry somebody that
with an empty brain,
like both mentally is bereft. If I might use the word, internally does not have value, does not have character. Maybe the person might be outwardly fine, but person has, if someone is saying matter of tolerance, person does not have it. but the person might be tall. And I said, person does not have patience, the person lacks character. So these are some things you should look out for. Internals more. Be more rigid on the internal. If there's going to be something like this spec, then be more rigid on the internals and be flexible on the externals. So don't say the person must be tall. If he's not tall, no, the person must have tolerance. So because when you enter the marriage, there might that tall, because when arguments ensue, because there will surely be misunderstandings. Now it's not going to the tall is not going to be a factor. I don't even get. It's going to be how tolerant is this person, how understanding is this person, how mature is this person. So, okay, I would like also to hear from Miss Mercy. We've spoken about quite some things, and then before we move forward, I would like us to also hear more things the person should look out for when choosing a life partner before we move to the next thing on the floor, because so many marriages, some people want to they rushed into marriage. Okay, let me say this. When you go to weddings, have you ever gone to wedding and you see that people are not happy? Maybe the bride was not dancing, everybody be dancing, rejoicing, but wedding is just for a day, marriage is for a lifetime, right? Until death do you part. But wedding is just an event. Marriage is, so you don't want to enter into marriage with the wrong person. That's why we're doing this thing. Marriage is somebody said, and I quote, marriage is the only institution where you're given a certificate before the completion of
They come.
other this thing you complete, they will not give you. So that's one of the reasons we're doing this. So you can, people that are yet to enter into relationship can have a starter, there's something they can, an idea of what and what not to do, so that you not be running into something you don't know and also have to run out from it. So also, what do you think, like one or two things before we look at other matters a person should?
I'm not really a relationship expert, but I think most times people make this mistake, just like you said, to look at the outward appearance before choosing a partner. But sometimes they tend to neglect some certain qualities in a lady's life or in a guy's life. Sometimes you just see a guy and this guy is totally jobless. He has no vision for his life. He has nothing, like nothing is that, there's no drive, there's nothing. This guy is just there. And you see him and say, Omo, because he's fair and he has beard and all that, you're not saying it's by spec. And once he approaches you as a young lady, you just accept. Knowing fully well that this guy is not doing anything, and he might even be feeding out of your own pocket as a young lady. It's crazy. Most ladies like, let me just do it
the guy is handsome
because you want to post with this guy now, with your
for the
guy
gram
and all that, just for the gram, yes. But sometimes we need to look at some qualities. Is this person really hardworking? If we end up getting married, can this person actually fend for us? Can he take care of me? Can he even take care of himself? There are some certain persons that you look at and you see the effort they're putting into their own life is very poor. It's really very poor. Not to talk of adding someone else. They cannot manage themselves. Then how do you think they can manage you when you come into the relationship? Even a lady, sometimes they think this guy is just, he has the money and he's there. They feel like, okay, since he has the money, he can take care of me. But there are some attitudes. Okay, there's this thing I watched some time ago. The young lady said, if my boyfriend does not beat me, then I was like, are you serious? Like, hey, I've seen a guy slap his girlfriend before, and she's still there. Like, you're not married, they are slapping.
Wow.
What makes you think when you get married, he will not give you the beating of your life?
They're doing practice.
They're doing judo practicals in their house. It's not making sense. So there are some things that you need to look out for, even in the ladies' part. Some ladies are so careless with themselves, even the way they appear. You can just tell. You might not really know what exactly it is, but you can just look at them and tell this person is not organized. This person is not doing anything. This person is just like that. What do you do for a living? Okay, you're out of, let's say,
The
secondary
table. I am
school.
the table.
You're out of secondary school, maybe not yet in university or in the university, and you're not doing anything like to get finances for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, these are some of the things you need to look out for. You might not really wait till that time for you to start trying to get this knowledge of things you can do, values you can add to yourself. You need to start from wherever you are before time for marriage. So that time it will be easier for you to maybe manage your relationship or manage your marriage and whatever it is that you're doing.
That's very wonderful. Before
Another quality that is very important is flexibility. You must learn to be flexible as a man or a woman. I can also say flexibility is compatibility. People say, this person, I left this person because this person is not compatible with me. No. There is nobody you cannot be compatible with if you put the work in. So you find somebody and the person has certain qualities that God has required you to find in a wife. God Bible says he that finds a wife finds a good thing. So it's for you to find. But there is something that probably there's always an issue that is always making you have issues. Then you say, I'm not doing again. But if you check deep down, it's just because one person refuses to be flexible. So two of you have not learned the act of being flexible, sorry. So you letting go, okay, it wasn't always be that way your father taught you or your mother taught you. Oh, this is how I like my soup to be made. But this lady, maybe your mother used to fry the egusi and you liked it like that. But in this lady's house, her mother likes to put the egusi like that in the soup.
Two different
upbringings. So one person just has to let go. Oh, okay, babe, you really need to cook it like this. Okay, I want to test it. Even if you don't like, try and adjust to like. Or you teach the person how to make it your way. I say, she doesn't cook it my way. So she doesn't know how to cook, because of that. There are different things little things that cause these issues in relationship and marriage. That if you check the reason for that divorce, it didn't start from she beat me or she slapped me. It started from, why did you keep my phone here? Why did you remove my phone from here? Most times it starts from that. And the woman lacks wisdom on how to handle. That's another quality you need to go and get. Wisdom. Both parties. The woman lacks wisdom on how to handle such issues. You could ask, why did you remove my phone from here? Who are you that will not remove the phone? Wahala don't start. That alone can provoke somebody to. And if the man doesn't hold himself, oh, you hit me. Most divorce is not because you slap me. It's small issues that one just needs to learn how to learn the act of being flexible that leads to compatibility, and one needs to develop wisdom to solve. These qualities are not just built in marriage. It starts from your day-to-day activity with people. You come to your classroom, you just can't stay with people. You can't stay in the same environment with people. How will you now stay with one man all the days of your life? It's not, that person will irritate you one day. So the act of learning to accept people no matter how they are, whether they are Christians, whether they are Muslims, you need to just learn how to live in the society with people. Some people don't know how to live like that. They will always have issues with people in their hostels. They cannot live with anybody. They are roommate. It starts from there as a woman. If you are like that, you need to work on yourself, because you cannot live with a man, no matter how that man will be. Because there's someone that may be very good or very neat. Then you see them very neat outside. You have not lived with them. They will do you something. Maybe they flush toilet and there's one particle remaining. That alone can cause problem. So you just need to learn how to accommodate people. It starts from there. Before you know, you take it into relationship. Before you know, in marriage, you won't have issues. And reduce your expectations for people. Some people have too much expectations. Because when people, I thought when I married, I thought I'm telling you this expectation thing. I thought this person can clean very well. I thought the person is very neat. I didn't know. So you've been pretending all this way. The person did not pretend. It's just that it's you that built your expectation. The person, you made the expectation so high. So another thing is when you meet somebody, my dear, that's reduce expectation. Expect anything from anybody. Anybody can do anything to you. Then it will reduce the way you react when people hurt you.
Okay, that's powerful. Okay, I would like to draw some points from what the word said. She spoke on finding out what drives the person. That's a very, very key thing a person should look out for. Most ladies, especially ladies, are guilty for this one. They look for what the guy is driving, right? But they're not looking for what is driving the guy. They're not looking for vision. They're not looking for this person's plan. They're just looking for what car is he driving? As if that is a marker for a successful or a responsible person. So I think the two words are: number one, look for someone that is responsible, someone that has vision and purpose, a clearly defined purpose in life. That's where, because living a life without purpose, where anything goes, this guy has car now, you don't even know how he got the car. Okay, I used to know a lady that she got married to a fraudster. Why did she get married to a fraudster? A very beautiful lady. The guy approached the parents he came with Lexus 350, then that it was raining. And on his first visit, he bought 2 bags of rice for the parents. Something that no man.
They have not even done it.
Yeah, you see it. So that got their fancy, and they chose to neglect every other red flag. And we're coming to that the guy was showing off, which the most powerful was that he was a fraudster, and they ended up marrying the girl. And you know how the story went. Of course, he was the law caught up with him, and then the lady now had to start living life from afresh, if you know what I mean. So these are like some of the things. Check for purpose, check for vision, check for responsibility. And then from what Ma Sharon said, you have to be committed. Is a thing of commitment. Marriage is not, from what she said, is not something you say, okay, you have to be flexible. And from what I understand from that flexibility is readiness to be committed. It's not okay when you notice that what this person is not doing something your way, you now say no, I cannot. You just have to be the word there is committed, whether it's the thing you know or this is different. You just have to be committed that you see this must work. And that brings about now being able to adapt, being able to be flexible. Because come to think about it, the same parents did not raise two of you. So there's no how you people can agree on the same matter on everything. It's not possible because people were raised in different environments, with different parents, with different circumstances. So the place of flexibility and commitment is key.